University of Sioux Falls in the first round of the conference tournament coming up later this week. This is a team that you guys met a couple weeks ago at the end of April, and you guys were swept by them. Was there anything that you really gleaned from that series that you think could really help you out in this, I guess, kind of a rematch in the first round of the conference tournament?
I think really with everyone we've played this year, not having video and experience head-to-head within really the last year, that's where COVID really affected us in terms of scouting reports and things like that. So I think seeing Hannah Kress throw, you seeing a number of their hitters, and they're newer players, right, up close and personal. I think that makes a big difference for us. I think we'll be better prepared going in. I also think on that day, wind was a big factor, and field conditions were kind of a factor too. So it's a clean slate. We felt like we let 2 get away. I think we're ready for a dogfight. Again, it's a well-coached team. They've got some strengths, but that we have to respect. But I think we'll be well equipped to give them all we got.
And just kind of overall, I remember that in a previous press conference, you were talking about kind of a daunting stretch against Winona State in Upper Iowa. You said was concerned that they would give you problems as well. You guys ended up taking 3 of 4 from those guys. You've won 6 of 7 overall. Does that just kind of give the girls kind of a boost of confidence heading into the conference tournament after, that kind of tough stretch that they had before that stretch there?
Absolutely. I mean, everyone talks about postseason as a clean slate, but there's also a lot to be said for momentum. I think more than anything, we're playing better right now. I think our defense is improving each day. I think we have a young team in a lot of ways, and the more at bats we're getting, the better too. And I like how we've responded and played against some of the tougher pitchers we've seen over the last couple of weeks as well. So I think that all bodes well. So it's postseason, you just want to get to the dance. But that said, having momentum going into the dance, I think helps an awful lot, especially as you mentioned with confidence. So.
You also took 3 of 4 this last weekend. 2 from Bemidji, and then split with Crookston. Some good pitching performances again from Trinity and Gabby. But overall, what did you like? What didn't you like from this weekend?
I think we had some calls to go against. We just didn't get a lot of breaks in the first game, and we get, I think 7 of their runs came on the long ball. This would be a walk, a seeing eye ground ball, and then ball over the fence, and a couple of pitches we'd love to have back. But overall, I liked how the kids were poised. We talk about responding the right way all the time, and I thought we responded to the first game loss with a really solid second game. We responded to blowing a lead with a really good finish at the end. So, again, it's softball, right? You're just gonna have those days where things don't go your way. And I really liked the energy the kids came back with, and I think just based on the bus ride home, kids feel good about where they are. They're excited for the postseason. We're excited to get after it this week and prepare for USF. So it's good momentum.
Talk about specifically the effort of Gabby Doddick, not just in the circle, but at the dish. She drove in a few runs. Talk about her productivity for the team. She's
been huge, and it seems like every time we've got Isis is a kid that's going to get pitched around to a degree, right? First base is open, right? She's not going to get a whole lot to hit, and that's where Gabby coming in with her athleticism and bat speed. I mean, she's a potent bat, and she's been hurt, a fair amount of the year. And since she's been fully healthy and able to run, it's made a big difference for our offense. So it's part of it's protection for Isis in the 5 spot, and part of it's just her being just a great athlete, and gritty, and just she loves to hit. She loves to just get in there and compete, and she swings so hard. It's even when she doesn't center it, good things happen. Right? She's just hard to field a ball she hits, and she's a threat to go deep. And she runs. She's a 2.8, 2.7 kid. Sprint wise, so she's just a really good offensive player. It's been to uncover that gem has been fantastic.
One more follow-up to that, another pitcher that can rake. Trinity Valentine had a couple of big hits when she got out there. You see her smiling. How happy was the team to see that?
It's funny, and she didn't hit at her JUCO, but I know her high school stats. I think she had like 10 home runs her senior year. I mean, she can hit. But for a lot of pitchers, it's almost like pitching's like a second sport. You play softball and then you pitch. And so, for her, especially coming into this conference, I think she's wanted to focus on pitching and really get her feet under her there. Quite honestly, we anticipate her hitting, in the postseason and next year as well when she has a chance to get more at bats in practice, that kind of thing. But no, it's certainly no surprise. It's kind of fun to watch. But she runs hard in practice, base running, and she does things the right way. She's got a pretty nice swing, and we have a lot of confidence in her, when she is up at the plate. But a lot of times, lineup-wise, we still want her to be able to focus on one thing at a time. So it's as much as anything, it's really been about her preference more than not wanting her at bat. So I feel very good when she steps in.
Ryan, would you like to ask a question?
Obviously, girls like Jamie Odlum, Isis Cabral at the top of the lineup, they've been, super productive this whole year. As I was looking through the box scores from this past weekend, girls like Lenora Watson and Maggie Mercer at the bottom half of the lineup have also come through as some key RBIs there. Just what have you kind of seen from them, and how key have they been for this recent hot streak that you guys have been on?
Yeah, Maggie in particular is just a tough out because she can hit a ball over the fence, or she can, run 2-7 down the line and beat you with slap bunts. She's truly a triple threat. And it's just been good to see her confidence grows, from week to week. She's just putting better at bats together. Pitch selection's really improved. And I'd say the same thing with Lenora. She's scuffled a little bit at early, I'd say mid-third of the year. Pitch selection, kind of expanding her zone a little bit when she didn't have to. And I think, she's much more in tune with her strengths and what she does well. And, it's kind of the cliche to say she's staying within herself, but she really is staying within herself and capitalizing on what she does well. She has a very intelligent plan at the plate. It's been really fun to watch her, just put great at bats at that part in the lineup, and she had a big home run for us yesterday, which was huge. I think her collegiate first. So that was fun to watch.
Absolutely, thank you.
And just continuing on the theme of hitting, this weekend outscored both opponents by double, 28-14 in total runs. What do you think has kind of led to this recent offensive success?
I think as much as anything, we're still running. We've been running well all year, right? I think we're leading the country in stolen bases or close to it. But our kids aren't scared to get thrown out. I think that's been a big thing. We're going to compete that way, and sort of the cost of doing business. So there's that part of identity. I think sticking with that has been big. And then getting people in scoring position, which we've been doing all year, but it's really getting that key hit. And I think there were times this year when kids would press a little bit, try to do a little too much, and I think again we've had better at bats in terms of pitch selection and just gaining confidence. I mean, we see good pitching every day in practice, and so I think some of that's just been kind of playing our way to that confidence. But we've just been much better at bats. There's not that sense that they have to do it themselves. They have a bat at bat, someone behind them can pick them up, and they really do believe that. And I think it's been really pressure 1 through 9 that's really paid off.
Also, one more. If there was one thing that you think that the girls need to really focus on heading into the conference tournament, just one key thing, whether it's pitching, hitting, or defense, what would you kind of point to that you guys really need to solidify entering the conference tournament?
Yeah, I think starting with pitching, I think we need to throw 2 of the first 3 pitches for strikes. I think that's the big thing. We fall behind 2-0 or 2-1 in those first 3 pitches. That's where we pay a price. And then secondly, I think we just have to make our routine plays defensively. There are times we'll make the spectacular play. We're doing a really good job with situational defense. It's just making the routine plays, especially changing surface from turf to dirt. That really was an issue, I'd say, in the first quarter of the season, and we're getting better and better on dirt. As we've been able to get outside, and so I think we're trending in a really good direction there. But I think that's going to be absolutely key, especially with Gabby pitching.
Everybody good?
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks.